Hey guys, and welcome to the weekly market update. So there's a few setups that I've been looking at recently, or the setups that are potentially going to be forming over the next few days, and I'll run through them in a second. But I'm going to go. So I only took two trades last week. Prior to that, I only had a trade last Sunday, I believe it was. It was a good opportunity on not USDT. Market's just been really, really slow at the moment. August does get like that for crypto and the markets in general. So I'm just being very, very patient. I'm sitting on my hands waiting for these setups to form. Volume has obviously dropped off too. So, hence the reason why the market isn't really moving that much. So I'm just going to go through some setups and that I think are going to potentially form over the next few days. And then we'll just go over them. I mean, this is BTC for me at the minute. So obviously we covered this weekly OB last week that has been filled, and then we bounced from around 49K. If we switch over to the monthly time frame, we've also got this nice doji candle here, which is our monthly OB. So if we mark that off, and we'll mark this as our weekly OB, but it's already been filled. So if we go back to the weekly, obviously there's still a strong demand zone here because after this push, we had weeks of consolidation. One, two, three, four, five. So like 8 weeks of consolidation before we had the big push out of that consolidation. So it's going to leave behind trap liquidity. It's going to leave behind a demand zone. I would love the price to come down and tap into that because it would just give us a better entry, cheaper prices for altcoins to add to our portfolios. So I'm just going to explain why I think price would go there and fill that monthly OB. So obviously we're still inside this formation here. We're still consolidating inside this. We are creating lower lows, lower highs. Effectively, just a pullback in a big uptrend. But at the moment, BTC is sat below a strong resistance level. Okay. And we've had a big push up and we're just consolidating underneath it. Will we test it in the next few days? I think we will. I think we're due another leg up because we've got one push, pullback, two push, pullback. So one, two, three, four, five. Okay. Five first. We have three impulses, two pullbacks. So we've got this order block sat just above here. Now, if price was to wick up and into that OB and give us a sharp retracement, that would be a good indication that we're going to head back down. And then you can look for a potential short there. Obviously, a few things need to happen first. We've got this trend line there, so we've rejected off of there, going to come to here, and I expect us to have a push up into this zone at some point. So like that. And what I want to see is a sharp projection back down, break this trend, create this OB in this leg here. Yeah, so like that, and like this. Essentially breaking these lows. Okay, we want to break them lows there. And if we create the OB in this leg here, I'll be definitely looking to take that short back down. Yeah. So that is my take at the minute on BTC. Let's have a look, see what fig level it's at. So we're at the 61.8 at the minute. We're below resistance. We've got a sweet order block just above. I think we are due a pullback soon. but ideally I want to see a tap into that OB first. Now let's say we do get into the short and we want to set our target for where we want to aim to. Now, if you notice the 1618 extension lines up exactly where that monthly consolidation zone was. So this zone here is a strong zone for me. Okay. Obviously, I'm not making a decision yet as if I'm bearish or bullish. I think if we're going to be 100% bullish, then we need to break out of this, break these tops. We need to break 70K, hold, and start showing some strength to the upside. Right. So that's my BTC setup that I'm waiting for. So I'm not just going to jump straight in. I'm going to wait for price to get there. And then see what reaction we get. Okay. So 61.8, sweet order block, resistance. We've had a steep drop. So we are waiting for essentially the rollover, yeah, the horseshoe. Obviously, take profits at the previous lows, which this consolidation area here has a lot of liquidity and stuff here that's been tapped into before. So it's likely price could come down to that again. Okay, so that's BTC for me at the moment. There's a couple of setups that I'm looking at too, short setups, and that's Jasmy. So Jasmy is currently sat underneath resistance. So if we go to the daily, you got that resistance level there. And now price is just pulling back up to it. Another thing I've noticed with Jasmy as well, so we just get rid of that, is this sweet little OB just there, right? So we've had a drop, a pause, a drop. So a drop, base drop. Come across, wicked into it, rejected. Now I like trading Jasmy because it really respects the order blocks. I was trading it for quite a while. Because imagine if you missed this drop here, okay, you didn't get in on the sell, okay, that's fine. On the leg, mark off the OBs on the leg. If it lines up with the resistance level, you tick that box. Does it line up with a good fib level? Tick that box. So you start to get your confirmations and you start to build a bias for your trade. Okay. So if you were to spot this OB and price was just starting to pull back up, there's no reason why you can't set your limit order just inside the OB because it's at resistance. It's at a nice fib level. Okay. And imagine you're asleep and you get an alert on your phone, your order's been picked up, straight away you're in 20x, you're 300% profit straight away. Okay. This is what you want to aim for. This is what you want to be settling for, and no less. These great entries. Okay. They can be done. As you can see in the group, they can be done. We've been doing it. Just need to wait for market conditions to be right. So when I drag that OB across, if price starts, if price continues up on this upward move, let's just say we carry on up, wick into this OB, we reject very strongly, we break this trend, okay? We leave a nice OB in this drop, we get a pullback, and then we catch the short back down. Yeah, that is a lovely trade, that one. Short back down, 27%. Daily to 4 hour time frame, or even on the daily, it looks good. Okay, so that's Jasmy for me. I've set an alert at 0.0233. I'll alert the group and that when it's ready, and then I'll break the chart down again. Okay. Next one I'm looking at is Solana. So if we look at the 1 month, again, we went through this last week on my call. So this is the monthly order block. That we've rejected from. We've pulled right the way back up. Buyers have bought 42%. It's gone back up. So that's very, very strong level for me. Will we come back down, fill it, fully fill it? I think if we get the dump on BTC, yes, we will. So if we look at the weekly, if I lose this zone here, if we look at the weekly, we've got another OB here. Okay. That was tapped into quite soon. So we want to look for these. Okay. So like we've obviously come to a level of resistance, so we've consolidated underneath, and then eventually we've broken through, taken out this high. Then you think, okay, we're going to start heading up. We close the candle above this high. Buyers are stepping in. There was an OB here. Let's set our limit order just inside this block. Maybe stagger a few orders, break the trade down into quarterly pieces. Stagger your orders through here. That's a beautiful trade there. So once it's all picked up, candle pulls up, and you're just immediately in profit. Fantastic. We've tapped into it again. 154 days later. It's just crazy, man, isn't it? It's mad how prices just drawn back to these OBs. Once you find a valid one and it's been tapped into or it hasn't been tapped into yet, it's just crazy how price respects it. It comes back to it. Okay, so that's a weekly chart. Let's look at the 1 day. We are underneath resistance, right? On Solana. We are at the 61.8. So there's resistance, 618. Fantastic. What else we got? Drop down to the 4 hour. I'll get rid of this resistance level just for to clear the chart up. So a nice base drop there. Yeah. We've already rejected it once. Broken that trend there. Okay, a little bit of a messy retest, messy trend line, but it is valid. You know, trend line, test the OB, reject, break the trend line, retest. So previously, probably a year or so ago, then I would have entered things like this. I would have seen this breakout, seen this retest, jumped in, and entered here. Now, over the course of a number of trades doing it like this, I found the win rate wasn't as high as if I get the entries up here in these OBs because I can have my stop loss a lot higher in a lot safer area. Okay. Found if I have my entry off the trend line, price does drop, and you think, yeah, the trade's going to go in your favor, but then it starts to trade back up, takes you out, then drops. Okay, so I don't take these trades anymore. I wait for the better entry. Okay, so that's Solana. Another one I was looking at is Link. So if we look at the monthly on Link, We've got this breaker structure candle. So the down close red for the push up is the OB, yeah. So just tapped into it slightly. I mean, we filled it here, partially filled it, and then we come back into it and just tapped into it here. So obviously coming back to retest this range, right? So if we go down to the 1 week, pulling up very nicely. Go to the daily. We have a strong level of support. What was previously support there? It was broken. Now price is pulling back up. Okay, it's recovering. It's pulling back up. So we fib it up, do the whole move. 61.8 again. Okay, so these setups are starting to look very frequent on a lot of these coins. 618. Is there an order block? Yeah, there. Yes, there is. That doji here. So if we draw our zone on that doji there, this hasn't been filled yet. Okay. So that is our OB here. Draw that across. We go to the 4 hour. Obviously, we're waiting for this recovery to come up into this OB and tap into it. So once price eventually gets here, following that trend line, obviously we want to see price wick up into this OB, come down, break trend, break structure, give us the OB on the leg that breaks the structure, which is my perfect sell model. And there you go. Okay. So these are essentially the setups I'm waiting for. These are just my bearish views on the market. Okay. Obviously it's all pending what BTC does. So if we go back to the BTC chart, just have another quick look at it. Look at the daily. If we break this resistance zone here, okay, and then we start to show strength, we start to show bullish structure that we're holding it, we could start coming up towards the consolidation highs, right? And if we start to take out some of these highs, that one there, these highs through here, these equal highs, if we start to take out these highs and start showing strong selling pressure, we know there's just grab liquidity and it's just coming back down. So again, you're just waiting, being patient. I'm not trading today. I'm not going to trade on Monday. I'm going to let the market do its thing, show me its hand, okay, and what it wants to do. If it breaks this resistance level and holds and starts to show bullish structure, am I going to take the long up to there? Yeah, possibly. Why not? You know, if it breaks, comes back to retest, and it leaves a sweet OB just inside this zone, then I'm going to take it for sure. Okay, so apart from that, not really much happening in the market. It's very slow. Volume has dropped off. So we are just waiting for it to show us our hand. September, as going back to BTC hitting 42K, we've got on September the 18th, right? Which is this date here, we've got some crazy news events on September the 18th. Okay, funds rates, CPI, all on September the 18th. So it could be the catalyst that sets off this run. As we've seen in previous runs, there's always crazy news events or some kind of event that happens in the world that triggers the market to drop and shake out weak hands. So the big institutions can fill their bags and then the market just takes off. So if that lines up nicely with what we're looking at here, let's just say that we do sort of play around under here and we get like a liquidity grab, and then we get a drop out of there. You know, it could be something fantastic that could occur right here. Drop into this zone after the news events, Bitcoin's under 50K, bargain for a lot of people. Boom, start to take off. All right. So again, we're just waiting to see what the market does, waiting for it to show us its hand. I'll keep you updated in the group of these setups I'm looking at and what I think BTC is going to do. And then we just trade what we see. Okay. We don't just trade what we think. If we start, basing our trading on what we think is going to happen, we're just gonna run into problems. All right, it's going to play on your emotions. And it's not going to be good for you. Okay, we all know that the market will bring out all of the emotions within you. If you're an anxious person, the market's going to call you out. If you're an impatient person, the market's going to call you out. Okay. Being in the charts, being involved in the markets, it forces you to shine that flashlight where it's dark. Okay. And that's what a lot of us are afraid of. We don't want to go places where we're scared. But unfortunately, that's the only place where we're going to win. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this call. I hope you enjoyed this market update. Um, I'll keep you updated in the group about about setups that are potentially forming and the setups that we've looked at. I've set alerts for them. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and good luck for the trading week. Peace out.